Today we look at this particular question. How do I use Nspire, TI Nspire to solve a quadratic equation such as this to obtain a result as shown here? Now, one way that we can do this is to use a graphical method. The graphical method will require us to first press this button because here is for calculation sketchpad. So you press this button, right? You go to here for graphing, and now you put in your equation. The equation that I need to put in here is x squared plus 0.6x plus 0.6x minus 2.6, for example. And let's say take this is okay, all right, and you can just simply press it, enter. So this is what I get. It's a bit difficult to see, so you might want to move the label somewhere easy for you to see, for example, over here. And I need to find the x-intercept. To find the x-intercept, I simply go to Menu, and I go to Analyze Graph. And since the x-intercept is 0, that is the y-coordinate is equal to 0, so I press 0. And now I go here. So to find the x-intercept here, I go to the left of the root or the intercept, press enter. Is that the lower bound? You say yes. And you go across until you are way beyond the 0. And then you stop. And now you can see that the number here is shown here, 1.94, so on. And if you don't have enough, for example, if you do not have enough of these decimal places and you want to have more decimal places, you can simply go to the menu again and you go to the setting, and then this is where you change it. I have changed it to display digit float 3. You might have it as float number 3, that is 3 decimal places. I have it at 10 decimal places, so to be more, so that I can see more. That's all right? So that's how you do the change. After you do the change, then you will press, for example, here I want 10, and then you say make at default, for example, right? And then you say okay. Right, next, to find this, all right, can you use your GD Nspire and then find the root of this part, the root on this part of the graph. Okay, great. Let's do this again. So I go to menu, go to analyze graph, 0, and then left of the roots. Is that the lower bound? It says, right? Say yes, means enter, right? And then now you drag it across, right, until you get 0, and then you say 1.34. So as part of your solution, you need to sketch this graph and identify these two intercepts, and then you report the answer as negative 1.94 or 1.34 to 3 significant figures. In the IB exam, you're going to report to accurately or exactly or to 3 significant figures. This is graphical method, which I will suggest you to do. Now, another way to do this is to use the what we would say instead of using graphing method, I can use the sketchpad. So you go to this same thing that looks like a calculator, click on that, sketchpad, and now you go to menu, and then now you go to algebra, you go to polynomial tools. In polynomial tools, you go to find roots of polynomial, because this is quadratic equation, means root, there are 2 degrees because it's to the power of 2. That means 2 degrees, and all the roots are real. So, okay. Now, you just put in A2 is the coefficient x squared. In my case, is 1. So, put in 1. A1 is 0.6. So, put in 0.6. And A0 or A0 is negative 2.6. So, you just type in negative here, negative 2.6. And then you say, okay. And here, this is the code. and then press enter again once more to get the answer. Negative 1.942 and or 1.34, exactly as what we've done. The only problem with this particular method is that it doesn't show you the graph. Here you have the graph. So I'm more of a graphic person, so I would always suggest that you sketch the graph and identify the answer. Here is for quick calculation of the root. All right. So